Question number 5. Does Argentina have title or escrow companies, or what exactly do they have instead? Does Argentina have title insurance? A simple answer is that Argentina has escribanos instead of escrow or title companies. Now, what exactly are escribanos? The word escribano pretty much says it all if you know the word escribir in Spanish, which is the verb to write. Scriveners or scriveners in British English means people who are experts in the art of writing. The literal translation of escribanos in English is scriveners. In a few words, escribanos are lawyers who went to law school but later on did an additional couple of years learning how to write deeds of all sorts and forms, and later on passed the escribano bar in Argentina and inherited or received a license from an older notary who has given up their license, because the amount of these licensed is determined and capped. Escribanos are essentially notarial lawyers, as Florida State has. They guarantee title, but they don't have any escribano insurance to cover any malpractice. They are simply liable for whatever deeds they prepare with their own personal assets. Escribanos are the equivalent to the United States escrow and title companies. This means title insurance does not exist in Argentina. So my suggestion with these licensed professionals is to pick them up among the very best escribanos in Buenos Aires or within the jurisdiction where you will be buying or selling real estate in Argentina, and things can never go wrong. In 20 plus years of practicing, I have only dealt personally with just one escribano's malpractice, and unfortunately it happened because a US client of mine picked the wrong escribano online and didn't want to use the one I had suggested because mine was slightly more expensive. Now, fortunately, I was able to bring in my expensive escribano and reverted this malpractice, which would have cost the client losing the property they bought even after having paid for it in full, because title was drafted imperfectly by this other inexperienced escribano that I never chose nor suggested using because of their lack of expertise in dealing with farm purchasing, which is something extremely exclusive only to escribanos dealing with high net worth clients, and the escribano also needs to know about the foreign law of lands that Milei is wanting to annul. So my client later acknowledged that cheap is always expensive, and next time I have a client complaining for an escribano's fees, I will happily bring up this case to explain why you always need to choose the best escribano in town, and usually they come at a higher price for their knowledge and expertise. Now, before I end this question, be advised that in every Argentine real estate transaction, there are common practice rules. The first rule is that the buyer always gets to choose the escribano, which both parties must pay on average 50-50, while the seller gets to choose where the transaction gets to happen, and this is simply because most transactions are in cash, and it's the seller who has to do all the engineering on how and where they will walk away taking that money upon getting paid.